Long day lay low. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Sunday. It's 5 p.m. Eastern somewhere. It's 9 p.m. We do these for a reason at specific times. We cater to the clientele, and we're determined. We're determined to get great books out in your hands, amazing comics, amazing people funded. Speaking of amazing people, we got Angela. What's going on, Angela?
Not much. How are you? Happy Sunday.
I am wonderful. Happy Father's Day to you. You know.
Happy Father's Day to me.
Well, you're Todd McFarlane, so
pretty much. So it could be my day. I could receive it. Anyway,
you could.
Happy Father's Day and happy
Easter.
Yeah, happy Uncle Day.
There's no such thing. But we have a man that's going to petition it. He's going to submit some forms to the U.S. government, and hopefully, on top of Father's Day, get them to release the full documentation on whether or not there are aliens in existence. Edwin, what's going on, man?
They get wild.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on? How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to start this petition. Uncle Day's gonna happen next year. I'm shoot for it. Well, 2025. Let's make Uncle Day a reality.
Well, the thing is, like, for Father's Day, generally, like, the dads usually get like a tie or like a belt buckle or something stupid, something ridiculous. That's like whatever. Mm-hmm. What would uncles get then? Like they get like
something even worse. So they're not below.
Yeah,
something you get like gift cards, basically. Just like get a gift card.
Well, wait a minute, but I think that's better though. I could use the money. Mm-hmm. So maybe we would get, instead of the tie, we would get the tie clip. Like, so we don't own a tie, but we got the clip for it. It's like, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, clip on tie. I mean, all the way. Cufflinks.
Yeah, but if you don't own a tie, cufflinks, a nice pair of cufflinks that no one will ever use. Yeah.
Nice Rolex.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I think you're definitely pushing it with a Rolex. Maybe a Rolex.
Rolex.
Off. Yeah.
See, Henry Bemis gets it in the chat right there.
Yeah. Speaking of the chat, Angela, it's hopping. We got Henry in there. Who else do we have?
Oh my goodness! You may talk to me about that. Hold on, I was talking to people in the chat.
Yeah, that's why you're here.
Was you? Yeah. Then Edwin is here. Hail, Edwin.
Yeah.
We got K-pop would be technically first.
K-pop did a stream earlier. She promoted a cool book.
Here's this person. They keep throwing tables. I don't know. They're in a rage. It's Jolly Green's in the house.
Jolly Green? What's up, Jolly Green?
Yep. We got Henry Bemis. Woo! Yeah, so we're all here. And Michael Bancroft is in the house. Oops.
What's up, Bancroft? Good to see you. Had fun with Bancroft last night. Shelby, Bancroft, Ink Spots, K-pop. Angela ignored us, but that's fine. We had a good time.
If you send me a link, you got to give me a heads up. You don't tell me like the last, like after the fact. But that's a story for another time that Edwin doesn't want to know.
You should know this full well. Links go out sporadically. Like, you're going to get sent a link if we want to send you one.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I'm Todd McFarlane. You need to tell me when you send me a link.
Negative, Ghost Rider. You get just links. Links just go out. If you get a link, you take it. You just accept it. You just do it.
Citizen Ronan is in here, laying down.
What's up, Ronan? What are you doing, Angela? What are you doing?
I'm drinking water.
You're like moving. Do you hear this unprofessionalism, Ace? Do you hear this?
I'm a little rusty.
Rough audio.
I mean, I know you're used to nothing but top tier streaming being on the hard line.
Oh yeah, nothing ever goes wrong on a field.
Nothing. It's one of the most finely tuned.
I just ship around streaming.
You guys have to sign a contract, right? Didn't you tell us that last time? Or wait, was that not for the people to know? Did I just say something I wasn't supposed to?
Yeah, that's it. Well, we talk about behind the scenes. We don't bring to the stream, Angela.
Yeah, Angela,
respect. That's in this day and age. I say respect to you because yes, we need more of that.
So we won't discuss the contracts that they signed to give their souls to the Zayd brothers. We'll we won't touch on that one. You know what
Pretty
kind of
much every so Phil gets, he just gets an inch taller. That's a trade-off. So.
It's ridiculous. Like send some my way, man. I could use them. You know, 5'6". That's tiny for a human being, especially a male human being. If you're watching now, by the way, hit the like and subscribes. Also, if you want to back the book before we talk, you could do that. That's fine. Link is pinned to the top of the chat and in the description below. Go check out the Ace Volume 3, currently on Indiegogo. You've been on here before, Edwin.
Mike McMahon is here. He's saying goodnight. He's on the pain med, so he's going to bed. Hail and good
feel well, sir. Feel well, sir.
Good seeing you, Mike.
Yeah, Mike's good peeps. We love him here. USSSN. Yeah, wonderful human being, great artist.
Very great. Yes.
Yeah, but you've been on the show before. We're friends. We hang out in chats. We share things around. It's what we do in the indie scene, in the indie comic scene. You've been at it for a little bit now. How's it feel to be on like your 15th book? Like you're hammering them out.
Feels great, man. This is what always dreamt of doing, putting out books. Didn't think it would kind of take this kind of this whole indie scene is like a whole new thing, compared to when I was growing up dreaming of working in comics in the 90s. But I'm glad for it, man. To got a new lease on life here.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. It's fun, man. And meeting, let alone like new people, new friends, new creators, but also becoming friends with like established industry professionals and just people like even underground indie professionals. Like it's crazy. It's really cool. Like we got into the game late, you know what I mean? Like it's not like we hit it when we were 18, 19, 20, you know what I mean? So we had to develop, jobs and work and do other things that just didn't steered us away, but we worked our way back. I think at a good time too, because the indie scene is where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing to me is like I can say that growing up as a huge like I said, I discovered comics in about 1990. So growing up a huge like X-Men fan, I actually got to hang out on a stream with Arte Bear, and he told me that he liked the Ace.
Nice.
That was it for me, man. There's nothing better. Like, the guy that one of the guys that him, Wells, Jim Lee, Scott Williams, all those guys that worked on those X-Men books to me were just like the greatest. And the fact that I can be on a stream with a guy and he can tell me that he likes my comic.
It's surreal.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And not only that, like, yeah, that's dope. Like you get, like you said, you get like Art saying something, or, you even get like Frega saying something, but you get highly talented individuals like, and I'm not sucking up, but people like Bancroft in the chat. I say it cause he's there. Or the Zaid brothers, dude, Phil and Brandon, they crush it. They're machines.
Every campaign gets better. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So the amount of talent and to be respected by that talent, it's humbling. It's very humbling.
It is. It's Oliver's house. There's Oliver.
Oliver. Yeah, there's another bunch of cats that are fantastic.
656 boys. Yeah.
656, man. Amazing creators. Bang out those stories, like great artists. Yeah.
I guess Michael Bancroft has one of his highlights of being a part of this community is getting drunk with Art Bear.
Yeah, I'm sure that.
Where's that footage? I missed that.
I missed that too. I did not see. Art drunk is probably a sight to behold for sure. Yeah. I've been on a couple streams with Art. Nice guy. Nicest dude. Yeah. Loves comics, loves it all. And that's what we love. We love doing this, and there's lots of things in life that sparked that love for it. Like, even just growing up, yeah, comics and stuff like that. But you have the other surreal or extra, we're getting to, like extraterrestrial stuff. Like I love alien lore, UFOs, all that stuff. What do you think has been going on lately with all that? How do you feel about like the recent like Congress hearings and all the stuff that's been let out? Do you think it's more of a so to speak, a psyop, or do you think it's like actual things, like they are releasing documents finally?
I think it's kind of the same old story. I think we've gotten to a point where we kind of need that catastrophic disclosure that everybody keeps talking about. I think people need to start leaking documents and start leaking pictures and videos and just kind of flood, because the fact is the gatekeepers are just too good. They know how to fix the game, and anytime like you saw last year when they were trying to pass the new NDA for discovery, for disclosure. Like they shut that down. Like, they take it to a special chamber, they stripped all the good stuff out, then they passed like a BS kind of amendment, and that was it, man. They have all the votes, they have all the people in their pocket, all the ones that matter. So they can at any point they can pull that little hit the button, the people do their dirty work and they shut it down. So we need to
Yeah.
like really start getting more whistleblowers, more leakers, people anybody who has any evidence, they just need to flood it out to the space and create a tidal wave.
Well, but then again, oh, what's up, Adam? Good to see
Oh,
you,
Adam,
dude.
what up?
What's up, man? Killing it. Another person creator killing it that I'm very happy and fortunate that I've got. I would love to get him on the channel though.
Yeah.
He's busy Sundays usually, but anyway, Adam had DM me. But how much of it do you think like could be a distraction? Like oh, look at what we're doing over here. We're releasing like these documents and redacting things and doing all the stuff that we're letting out the secrets that of alien technology and aliens and stuff like that. How much of that do you think might be a look at over here and don't look at what we're doing over here type of a thing?
Yeah, but I don't really buy that. I think, even the stuff that's been leaked, it's so like guarded. Like it's been like, there's talks of all sorts of like HD videos and all these other kind of things that would 100% expose it. But that stuff is so like heavily locked down that, you only get like basically like the little, like 30-second videos and pictures and little stuff that slips through the cracks. There's nothing really kind of explosive that anybody has leaked yet, because it's so tightly guarded.
It is. What is Henry Bemis saying here?
My dad saw a UFO when he was in the Army. He took a shot at it which I'm pretty sure is against regulations. So I'm assuming he shot his gun at.
True, but how much, like you say, like we need to leak out a lot of this, and I agree with you. Like people have stuff they need to show it. Like his dad. That'd be great if his dad shot a camera at it instead of a gun. But like we need to. But in today's, oh sorry, go ahead.
Oh no! Citizen Rono also says that he saw one when he was a kid in the 80s, and there was a series of sightings in Connecticut.
Ooh, that's interesting.
And also, Bancroft says that Chimera is likely an alien, or at least an android from the future.
Well, and that I was going to say, like also with today's age, and sadly with today's technology, not even just today, even a few years ago, you could fake alien footage pretty well. So I think, like maybe, but here's the thing. Even if 98% of the stuff 99% of the stuff out there is fake, that means 1% is real, and that's still crazy. You know what I mean? Because that would mean 1% is real. We can't explain it. It's some sort of proof that there was something out there. Now, what is it proof that there's extraterrestrial activity out there, or is it proof that the government is doing things we don't know about that is actually involved with them, and we're contributing it to extraterrestrial beings? What do you think?
I mean, the government's always up to something. That's number one. There's no doubt the government is doing something super illegal that if the people knew, they'd flip out. So that's given. But the fact is, I just think, I've followed this, and I've come to a point where there's too much evidence, too much testimony, too many credible people have said like, no, this is real. There's we have craft. We've had bodies, whether they're alive or not, who knows? But this thing it's been going on for too many years, and this, people like Bob Lazar keep getting proven more right by the day. I mean, if he was some wild kook like everybody claims, how come the stuff he was talking about back in the 80s is being shown now? Nobody's that good. Nobody's that good if you're just making up a story.
Even discovering that element. You know what I mean? Like they found out it does exist. Like they just have to find it in a stable form.
Crazy.
So yeah,
like I said, nobody can guess that good. Even Nostradamus, was that on point. So, there's people with proof. We just gotta accept it and start believing some of the testimony.
Michael Bancroft is talking about the footage of the plane disappearing is pretty nuts. I don't know which plane. I don't know if it was the Malaysian
plane. MH370.
Yeah.
There's a lot of.
Oh, go ahead.
No. You actually what?
I saw a really weird phenomenon when I lived. I went to Toronto, Canada, and when we passed through Michigan and into Canada, I don't actually remember exactly where, but there was this weird like lights in the sky that were doing these like somersaults. And to this day, like me and my friend both saw it, and I kept saying to her, "Pull over. I want to document this." And she was like, "No, I'm too freaked out." So I have no idea. To this day, I have no idea what that was. I mean, it was the most bizarre looking thing ever.
Which is understandable to be very freaked out in that instance. But yeah, I would also would want to. But then again, that's how horror movies start. You know, I've seen Fire in
Yeah.
the Sky. He got out, got knocked down. Like, I mean, I've heard that guy
Yeah.
was on with Rogan and gave his
Right now.
testimony. What's that?
If I would have gotten it, if I would have done that, I probably would not be here right now. So
Maybe not. Or you might with a little more information on whether or not these are real and what's going on in this outer world. But see, I also have had another philosophy, which I've heard before too, amongst other people and conspiracy theorists, or call them what you may, that maybe one, these are actually us from the future or dimensionally shifted into time, come back to like monitor and make sure we actually get there to where they should be instead of veering off track, because it's we can adapt the technology. So it could very well be us to imbue this stuff, or it's pretty much AI. Like it's AI from the future sent back. Based, you know, because what if the aliens, because you always see the grays, like they look the same. What that's like a robotic suit almost. So are any of it real? Is any of it like, I mean, real as in like by organic, or is it just, you know, all, you know, technologically advanced? I don't know.
I think I think there are real beings, but the grace could be some sort of cloned, genetic created thing. There's all sorts of theories that they're basically like worker bees that are just made, in a factory and stuff to serve whatever purpose. They have a mission for.
Well, it does make sense to believe in the idea that there's different types of aliens because there's different types of humans. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's plenty of ethnicities and stuff like that. So to be to be an alien type of an entity, but still have a different form makes sense. It just does. And also, the universe is even older than what we thought it was initially anyway, with the Webb telescope out there, you know, capturing all these images of galaxies that are younger than what they thought they should be. So it's just crazy what we're finding out on a day-to-day basis now, let alone what we're going to know in even 5 years. Like the advancement of our own technology is moving at such an astounding rate that yeah, we may not be able to do what these alien crafts are doing and what we can see that they could do now, but maybe we are starting to learn it. So that could very well be. And also, a lot of them seem to go back into the ocean. So maybe they've been here this entire time, and you get the Unger Dryas? Luke says it better than me. Like that theory, where like a comet crash. What if alien beings were actually always here, imbuing knowledge on us on how to, you know, construct like the pyramids and stuff like that, and eventually, like, not saying they did it, but they gave us the wisdom on how to do it. And eventually they just, you know, faded out, being like, you know, this is a lost cause, a lost experiment. Do you buy into that concept that maybe they've been here the entire time?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely completely into the ancient civilizations, with lost technology. All the stuff that Graham Hancock talks about, I believe he's shown the evidence for it. The way the timeline shapes up, to when, the pyramids are built to when the cataclysm happened. Everything is just, to me, it's too big a coincidence for it not to be a reality.
Let alone, we don't know how they did it. Like there's a bunch of different theories and they kind of make sense, but we can't duplicate it. Like the way they do it, even with the technologies and the machinery that we have today. So,
no, it would cost us so much money to try and replicate that. It'd be insane.
So much money and just like
and
I said,
time,
like the cranes that we have can't hold it. It's crazy. And I like to think, for one, I think I like doing this. Don't get me wrong. Like YouTube's great, Twitter's great. Like they can have their advantages, but we are more distracted now than we've ever been in our life.
Oh, yeah,
Like
for sure.
it's crazy the amount of garbage that we're. What's Ronan saying here?
Oh, first off, Mortal V's in the house, so hail Mortal
What's
V.
up,
I don't
Mortal
think
V?
he's a
Good to see you, man.
before. So yeah.
He's been here a
Citizen
couple
Ronan, I have a friend who was a merchant marine. He saw a USO go right under his ship when he was out in the Atlantic, and then Henry Diaz follows up and says those are fascinating. I've never heard of that, so I guess it has something to do with like a unidentified.
Yeah, USOs are crazy. Yeah, they're submersible, unidentified
Mhm.
submersible objects, and I like. What was? Do you remember the documentary, Ace? It's that crash that happened in Brazil, and I can always forget the name of the documentary. It's a fantastic
Yeah,
documentary.
by James Fox.
Yeah, by James Fox,
Yeah.
and they. But off the coast of Brazil, they've even said they see things coming in and out of the water. They don't know what it is. Like they just don't. So there's a
The
lot of
phenomenon.
like. It
Is that the
might have
name of it?
been.
Anyway,
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
I
moment
think
of
that's
contact.
the first one he did. Yes, I think
Moment
it's
of contact.
contact. Yeah.
There
Moment
you
of
go.
contact. Thank you. Thank you.
Oliver.
Yeah, that's what the chat's good for that. But here's the other thing. You mean to tell me that whole town, like so many people saw it. A lot of people saw something that happened in the 90s. It's not like that happened in like 1922. So they remember it. Even that dude that saw he came back to the site of the crash, and he's not an actor. Like the amount of emotion he had going through him,
Yeah.
like that's an Academy Award if that was fake. Like
Yeah.
it was
Just imagine all these people faking it for decades. Just
for
for
decades.
what? What are they getting out of it?
Right. If
Ridicule,
anything, they
like,
get called crazy.
Yeah, like to be
Yeah.
mocked and made fun of. Like I said, you got to start believing some of the testimony. And like I said,
Mhm.
James Fox lays it out so well in that. I can't wait for his new documentary, which is supposed to be coming out later this year, man. Okay. It's
Oh,
gonna be
nice.
amazing.
Yeah, he's great. I love his
Yeah,
work.
the best.
I can't. I didn't even know about it, so I'm glad you said something.
Yeah, it's coming out. I think maybe fall,
Nice,
September, October, somewhere around there.
nice, great stuff. Everybody, yeah, Google James Fox. You can see what documentaries he has
Yeah.
and watch them. They're
I'm
really
not
good.
familiar with them.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Lots
Oh,
of
they're
love in
so
the
good.
chat room for Arrival. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's a good movie. It's a pro-life movie according to Ben Shapiro. So anyway, that was interesting.
But well, like I've always liked Fire in the Sky. Now they kind of made it more of a horror type movie than what his accounts really are. The way, like, he was on with Rogan, and if you listen to what he recounts, he doesn't talk about it all the time. He doesn't like to because, like you said, you just get made fun of. Like, there's no point. So, and he pretty much says, like, he was knocked down and they took him on to heal him, and they take him to this other room where there's beings that kind of look like. It's crazy, like his accounts and his stories. It's amazing what he talks about. Now, here's the other thing. You got to take some things obviously with a grain of salt, and like people lie, we have head trauma, like things can happen. You go unconscious, you get your altered realities can take place in your brain. Dinner's ready.
I have a good idea. Sorry, I just had an idea.
Oh, okay. What was it?
I'll put no, it's a joke. My phone
I know.
just did a.
I know, but I wanted to see if you could follow it up. But anyway,
no. Sorry, go on.
No, you're okay. Like there are some things with you got to take with a bit of skepticism, and I think you should confront everything you see. Like, okay, is that a hot air balloon? Like, did they take some ketamine before they went outside? What was there something that went up prior to it? Now, if like you said, there's photo proof or video evidence, like these are regular people, like a priest saw it and he's like, oh, I saw an alien. Like some people you do kind of have to take into account. So like you got to examine case by case basis. But like look at the Tic Tac videos.
Oh, yeah.
Those are Air Force pilots. Like it's not like what do they have to gain? If anything, they could lose their jobs. Like they could get discredited.
Testimony from Ryan Graves and Commander Fravor is just like, you don't get more decorated. You don't get more legitimate than that ever.
Exactly, dude.
For anybody to like I said, I just think like too many people just, they've been watching too many movies and then get caught up in the whole like Hollywood of it. You know, like
It is
listen
very,
to
yeah.
the legit testimony from real people, decorated people who are trusted with, our
I have
highest
not.
technology and weapons. Listen to
Yeah.
those. I think you'll get like the truth.
Well, okay, and like obviously he's got the biggest, platform and podcast there is, but Rogan has on some very credible people quite often. Not only that, people like you said, Bob Lazar, who never does interviews. Never. He doesn't like to talk about it. He'd rather just work on his stuff. And his story hasn't changed in how many decades. So now, granted, we're comic creators, we're storytellers. We can keep canon in our heads if we really want to, and be like, okay, well, as long as we keep these similar beats, we can maintain a similar story. But like you said, he talked about an element that wasn't even discovered yet up until years later. You can't have it in a stable form. He's talking about anti-gravity devices that have been, people are like, oh yeah, that sounds familiar. Like, it's crazy what's
The
coming
way
out
he
now.
describes, how the objects move and how they're
Mhm.
piloted, all this stuff. Like I said, like nobody's that good. You can't just fake that in
Not only
1980
that,
something, and then
and not,
2024, like, oh, all of this was right.
yeah, that's the other thing. Other people are saying, yes, I saw it go on its side. Like they're pretty much just confirming his story without even knowing his story.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and I haven't heard about that Zimbabwe thing. I didn't know what that was that Ronan was talking about, but that's the other thing.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
so
asking
many
documentary.
No, what's that?
No, I was asking him if it was a documentary because I'm curious.
Okay.
I'm a little.
What's up, Jay?
I'm intrigued.
Is that the one where the aliens land at the school?
Yeah,
That's in Australia. Didn't that happen in Australia where they land at the school?
Maybe there's more than one, but he's saying there's one that there were kids in Zimbabwe that had.
Yeah, there's a. Yeah, that's the one that I know.
Okay, I do also know. I remember hearing about. I watched a few of the documentaries, and Bancroft might know. There was one that landed outside of a school in Australia, and the kids all came out, and there was even photos taken. I can't remember how long ago it was. It might have been in the 70s or 80s, and like the government showed up, confiscated everything, and took all the the cameras and stuff like that. So, and to me, it's a little awkward and a little weird. Like, people remember things, so it's a little weird if your government comes in after something happens and it's like, no, we need that. Like, it's a little suspicious. like,
nothing to see here. Move along.
Move along. Nothing to see here.
Noah and Jay are in the chat. Hail to
What's
them.
up, Noah?
Henry says they erased Bob. I think it's Lazar's entire record of working for the government, even though people have testified that they worked with him at a government facility.
Yeah, he was.
I think I've seen him on
He was at Los Alamos. Bob Lazar worked at Los Alamos, and they're like, yeah, you never here or went to Los Alamos. Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually on the books, and like you can find him in like the phone log,
Yeah, and he could describe like their security clearance type of stuff, and like to what they had.
Like he walked in with George Knapp, and literally just walked into this highly secure. They'll shoot you if you don't have the clearance. And he just walked in with George Knapp like nothing.
And he knew where to go though. Like he knew the facility.
Like he just literally just walked in and said hi, and just literally just like that's like I said, nobody's that good.
here's the reason why
people want to believe.
Here's the reason why something is up, because you can't have an immense secret without something leaking, with a lot of people knowing without something leaking. It's literally impossible. Why do you think the JFK assassination has all these like conspiracy theories? There's all these theories because somebody said something at some point that knew something, and or things look suspect. They just look really suspicious, and just like, I'm sorry, I can't believe. Not only that, dude, the government is telling you things. Like, you mean to tell me you're being honest with me? Like, no, I don't. No, you're never honest. Like, can't remember a time when I could trust the government on anything.
My hairstylist, she worked when she was younger in Dayton. She worked at Wright Patterson, and she swore she worked in the area where she was like a secretary. So she saw things about UFOs and stuff. And I'm all like, why didn't you document that? Take pictures. You'd be like on your second book right now,
Oh,
that's the other thing. Yeah, it's dangerous. But also, like the Roswell crash, they took most of that to like the Ohio military base.
Exactly.
did. A lot of it went there, not to the military base in Roswell, New Mexico.
Which we don't get
So
why, but
what's that?
I don't know why they. Yeah, it's just weird they sent that all the way to Ohio. What you want to do as much as you can to protect that, and even
Yeah.
California. Why did you take it all the way across the country anyway?
Well, even in that moment of contact thing, the U.S. government comes in and takes the alien beings, which they. This is why, yeah, there very well could be more than just robotic. They're aliens because there's witnesses of
Yeah.
seeing these alien entities, and they
Ugh.
came in. American government came in and took them from Brazil. Like
Yeah.
we just took them.
They were just
Like,
hanging out. They're just nearby in Brazil, just want to say
yeah,
hi.
they're just chilling, scaring little kids.
Yeah.
Liam has a story where he says a bunch of people, including himself, came across one floating above a highway. I wonder if that's kind of like what I saw in Michigan, but it was like, I don't know, that was weird. Yeah.
Like there are some times where I'm like, oh, what is that? Or what is this? And it could be a plane or it could be just whatever. So I kind of just brush it off. I mean, this is before my eyes went. So nowadays I look up, but I don't see anything.
Cool.
But
so
yeah,
the phenomenon that when they mentioned earlier, it's another James Fox documentary. It talks about the school incident. So
yeah. Well, that is another documentary. It's I think it's his first one.
Yeah.
So it's still really good. Check it out. Like they're all really good. He does a lot of there's people who didn't want to talk about it so much that he went to somebody's house, and if he didn't leave the premise, they were gonna shoot. The guy was gonna kill him. He was gonna shoot him. He's like, you better leave. Or like, yeah, they had a translator, but he's like, if you don't leave, I'm gonna shoot you. And the translator's like, yeah, we better go. This guy's not kidding around.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me, like, because he doesn't want to get mocked or made fun of probably or be discredited. So you can't tell me something is so fake that these people believe in it so much. Like, and yeah, that's true. People are like, oh, what about religion? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, that's a belief structure too. But these are actual eyewitness evidences. People who never knew each other can describe things to the T. And it's just, you can't tell me it's not a real thing. Like even 1%, it's still a lot.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. Did you ever see? And I was gonna get the footage, but I completely just didn't. Did you, Edwin, see the one that was found over in an Iraq army base? It looks kind of like that robot emoji, and it's like flying through the air. And they say that it flew through the air. It kept going up and down. It would change color, and then all of a sudden, it just went in the water.
Oh yeah,
They've
there's
just
one from
the footage of it. It is the most bizarre thing.
I
I wanted to send it to Aaron Lepresti. And get him to give his 2 cents, because he does that thing every. Aaron Lepresti, check out a show on Sundays.
Yeah, he was just on before us.
He does. Yeah, he does the whole where's
Bigfoot and stuff, yeah.
all the phenomenon type stuff, and he tries to debunk it. It's really funny.
Pull up the video.
Anyway.
Pull it up. Get it. Find it.
I'll try.
What good
Maybe
is Angela?
I'll find a picture of it. I'll try to find a picture.
Well,
and
that's the thing. Like, yeah, there's a lot of sightings in America, and people are like, oh, it's kind of weird. But it's not just America. It just happens to be. I think a lot of those sightings are military related. I think that's why. But I also, like, there's worldwide documentation of, like, either beings or crafts or something that people just don't know what they are. They can't explain it. It defies our known, what we know as physics, because what we all know is very limited based on our human knowledge. So there could be more to things. So it's worldwide. It's not like it's just like, oh, it's only happening in, Ohio. It's like, no, it's happening everywhere. Like, yeah, it is happening closer to military bases, and that a lot of that is probably military activity. Now, whether or not it be deconstruction of alien technology that we're making into our own, military craft and then testing it, or actual just UFO flying saucers, you don't know. But it's just, there's a reason why, and I believe something should be secret. You don't want, the enemy getting their hands on something. So I do understand a level but just to say, hey, guys, guess what? There's aliens. Just say it. Like, why not? Yeah. So, what do you think? Do you think they should just come out? Like, how do you think the world would take it? Think about, I can understand 50 years ago, people might be like, what? That's crazy. Nowadays, with this, Do you think people would be shocked if you came out and were like, yeah, there's aliens? People would just like, okay.
I mean, there would be a portion of the, the world that would go flip out for a bit, like, I think
Maybe.
we've created such like a fear kind of mongering throughout the world these days that, yeah, some
True.
people will speak up, but most people, they got lives. They got, like, look, presence has been with us for years. They study us. They're not really interacting with us. They don't interrupt our day to day, and we're on it. We're studying it. That's it. That's all you got to do. The
Yeah.
people accept it, and then they can move on with their day.
Like, and don't get me wrong, like, I know there's like other, like, lands and islands and stuff where they have people that are still living pretty much like almost like tribal cavemen almost, where if you even approach the island, they like kill you because they think you're some evil. Remember that there was that island, I don't remember the name of it, but they worshipped planes because planes would fly over and drop food on them, and they just thought they were gods bringing them food. So they built like constructions of planes and worshipped them. So like there is that fact of unknowing in what something is that is really just simplistic and like man-made. So what's going on here?
Henry's talking about the Rendlesham incident, a UFO encounter that happened in a forest in the UK in the 80s.
Yeah,
so except for all the probing, I don't know if that's connected, but we'll go with that.
I don't know how much of that, like, I don't know if I buy the probing thing, mainly because for one, if they're so insanely advanced, like we have MRIs and stuff like that you don't need to stick anything in you to like scan your body. So I just kind of think that's BS. I just think that's like,
I'm sorry, I'm kind of disappointed with us. I mean, we are in regards to all the creatures on this planet, we are the most superior. Yet we have yet to go to other galaxies other than we've made it to the moon.
True.
And
well, we're the most superior
Have
intellectual.
we made it to the moon?
Not everyone believes that.
Well, there's
I
people.
know. Okay,
No.
Another story.
Well, I was
Next
gonna say,
time.
there's people that do believe like we went to the moon, but the footage was not real because we just can't do it. So there's people who believe it was just shot in a bunker. There's people who think we actually went out. You know what? To me, it's almost it's a conspiracy theory. You know what? I like the one where we went to the moon. I like that one. If somebody were to come out tomorrow, though, be like, we have 100% proof that we never went, and here you go. I'd be like, okay, that kind of sucks. Like, I wouldn't be totally like, no.
Look, I lean towards that we went to the moon, but the real interesting question is, why haven't we gone back?
Yeah, there's a lot of excuses. There's a lot of excuses.
When you get into that.
So, Rick Sailor's here. Hello, Rick.
What's up, Rick? Good to see you, brother.
Japan, I think, just is the most recent country to go to the moon.
Yeah, Japan. Well, I don't think they put a person there, but they launched like a probe there or something. And I think
not wrong. K-pop is saying that they didn't go. Probably K-pop is saying they probably didn't go back to the moon because it was boring. Not wrong.
Well,
and there wasn't moon boobs.
There was no hot dogs on the moon.
No.
Well, there's a lot of theories. Like there's the Kepler belt or whatever. There's the radiation. We lost the technology, which to me, I don't buy that one. Finances were cut, and they were. NASA's finances were the budget was drastically striked. Now, yeah, a lot of excuses. I think some of them are BS. Some of them are they make a little bit of sense. So, but I like the one where we went. Cool.
Yeah. First Man is an actual really good movie. I saw it stars Ryan Gosling. He plays someone. I can't think of which one he plays, but it's about the moon, the first moon visit. And
well, there's a lot of movies
really, about it definitely you like if you don't believe, probably not so much, but for me, because I do believe that the moon happened. It does capture your imagination.
I believe the moon happened too because I see it every night.
The moon,
but
right now.
No.
Do you,
Edwin? Did you what? No, Angela. What? I'll ask. I remember my question.
I have the video if you would like to watch it.
Oh, pull it up. Pull it up.
I don't drop Edwin, but I will show it right now.
Share screen. Share the screen. I'll ask Edwin my question after this.
Here, can you see it? Can you see it?
Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay.
You're not seeing my tabs, are you? That would be embarrassing. So
That would be
that's what it
embarrassing.
looks like. Can you see the like?
Pretty grainy.
It is
Yeah.
grainy, but like basically the thing about it that was the most unique. Well, most unique. this is unique, but it changed color. So if you're seeing it change, like it's not the camera, it's actually the actual entity changing its color. So, and obviously it's on a black and white camera, so that's
Yeah,
not very
the crazy thing is they couldn't lock on it. This is
see
like the
like,
most advanced weapon system that we have.
I'm gonna
You know, like there's
Yeah.
nothing more technologically advanced than this, and we couldn't lock on whatever this thing is.
yeah.
And you
Yeah,
know,
it's pretty
there's
wild.
there's a history of that with our planes not being able to lock onto UFOs when they see them.
Yeah, and they
switch on the
drop
sensors and all that.
they
So
drop
yeah,
from 5,000 feet to 500
Mhm.
feet in like less than a
Yep.
second. Yeah, it's
Shoot.
pretty astronomical what some of these do. But that's the theory where that some of these might be drones, like whether they're Earth or extraterrestrial, but they might be drones without an inhabit in them, and that's why they're able to move so fast. That's a theory. It's a good one. I don't mind it. I'm not mad
You didn't
at
see
it.
my tabs, did you? Or is Jay just messing with me?
I didn't see your tabs. Then again, I'm blind, so
No, it wasn't.
I didn't look.
Okay.
Anyway, no, Edwin, have you heard about like Angela mentioned, I think Japan, went to the moon or whatever, but I think they sent a drone. They actually, I don't know if it was Japan or China. They went to the other side of the moon. Have you heard about the dome on the moon? Like there's photos of the other side of the moon where there's like a
Dark
dome
side of the
and like
moon?
they call it the dark side of the moon,
Mm.
but it's
Neat.
not dark. The sun shines on it. But
yeah, I mean, I heard those there's all sorts of structures apparently.
yep.
If you look at that NASA, wipes from any time they take an
Mhm.
image, they just wipe it
Google
and
it.
just give you like an edited version. So yeah, it's a lot of weird like rabbit hole. That's the really interesting one to me. Like, well, if you accept like, all right, we've been to the moon, and then you kind of go like, all right, how come that was kind of it,
Well, we've only been to like if you think about it, the moon isn't tiny, it's huge. It is big. So we've only been to like a minuscule part of it, and we haven't been to that other side really to investigate too much. So what if those structures are there? And what if they're there because like a superior intellect knows, like if some species on this planet would go there, they would go to the side that faces like the planet. Like it just makes sense. Why would you go around it and then land? It doesn't make sense. You would just go straight there and then back. So it would make sense. They would have like some sort of bases or underground, caverns or something where we can't get to because it would. It's like it's no different than military structures underground. Like it's like you're not going to look there. So it's a good way to disguise it. So I thought that was pretty fast. Do you think
China, it's a China base. I think China's going to use that to eventually take over the world, but that's a story for another time.
I mean, but that's another theory. I don't think they could have made a base that quickly on the moon.
Yeah, true that. Hail Buddha Bear and Brian Dixon is in the house.
What's up,
Cheers.
Buddha Bear? Wow, what's up, Brian? Good to see you, man. Childhood friend. School chum, if you will. By the way, we will get to his book in a minute here. If you want to check it out, though, while we're yapping, click the link in the top of the chat or in the description below. Check out the Ace Volume 3. But yeah, so, yeah, please. Do you Edwin, do you think the face on Mars, do you think that's an actual thing, or do you think that's just more of that thing where people want to see faces in objects?
I think it's probably just something that looks like a face, but it's not
That's
real.
what I think too. What I think too. I think it's a little just like that one thing is there, and that's it. It's kind of like, but rock formations and structures. If we were to build when we build things out of like rock, it's more solid and it would stand the test of time more than anything made out of like metals or something. So it's a possibility. Do you think Mars was inhabited at some point?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I mean, haven't they found water on it?
I think they found like things that could be like veins, like riverbeds and stuff that could have been where the sources of water were.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a long time ago, but I believe that was inhabited planets.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, how old is our solar system? Like, you mean to tell me at some point Mars wasn't in the Goldilocks zone? Like, it could have been. I don't know. I wasn't alive. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a guy who draws comics. But
A
I
random
think
useless fact, real quick. I was like watching this news report on last week, and the guy, like a UFO expert, which name I can't remember, he said that basically there is probably entities all around the universe that are like us, like they don't travel, you know. And I was like, I've never thought about this before. I just assume they all have a UFO and they get in it and come here. But no, like there's probably people or things
to me, okay,
that still haven't
forget
never left
about like we're right, but forget about like insane, highly intellectualized
Yeah.
creatures. You to me to tell me there's no life out there aside from us and the entire universe is just naive. It's just ridiculous.
Yep.
It's naive. It's illogical. It doesn't make any sense mathematically to me. It just doesn't. The universe is infinite, and it's infinite in a number that we can't comprehend.
That's
so you mean to tell me
very
at some
true.
point in that infinity, another being didn't come along and become intellectual and make crafts and then to try to discover other things and found a way to travel even faster than the speed of light? I don't
Yeah.
know. What do you think, Edwin?
Yeah.
Do you think do you buy into that?
I mean, I buy into a lot of things.
But you know what? I think that's great. I think it's great to have an open mind like that, though. I
Yeah.
think you should.
It always wasn't the case. Like, but it's just become, you know, a lot of people say, people say, oh, you do your own research, but if you kind of start looking at different things that you're interested in, you'll find a lot of smart people with a lot of interesting theories. And a lot of stuff that we're basically just kind of handed and told to accept doesn't really add up. And, you know, it all started to me with like the stuff with ancient Egypt. You know, their timeline doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make
When
sense.
you really study it, and the kind of credentialed people that have basically torn that down, you don't get any smarter, in my opinion. So, like, you know, if they're lying about that, what else are they lying about, you know?
Very true. And the other thing
What
is,
else? You know,
sumo. The other thing is, like, okay, let's say 100 years ago, you know, we thought Egypt was made the way it was made, and that makes sense. But throughout time, you find out, oh, it was actually older than what we think. Maybe it wasn't, and not saying it wasn't built by people in Egypt, so it was built by Egyptians. It's just not built at the same time as what we might think it was built at. But it's been a century-year old, theory and rooted in like the evidence that they had for so long. Why would they want to recant it? Because that would be like, oh, all these people were wrong. It's like, well, no, they were right. They just got the time wrong. So, like, why is that so harmful? In admitting you're wrong. I can admit I'm wrong. I'm very rarely wrong. But when I am, I admit it.
I mean, they created a whole industry with this story, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
without a
what,
doubt.
that's their lifeblood, you know? How can they really, realistic way say, oh, all this whole industry we've created is built on a lie? There's this whole other evidence that rewrites what Egypt is about. I think that's pretty huge.
Shouldn't that spark your I don't know, I want to say creativity, but interest, and be like, oh, you mean to tell me I was wrong this whole time? Well, what? Let me investigate it more now. It's the sense of the new. How often do you get that feeling of the sense of the new? Like we were talking last night, I don't know if it was live or backstage, about how it's almost hard to reinvent the wheel. It's very difficult. So I think it was backstage, but a lot of like IPs or stories or stuff, they're kind of just like a rehash. Like, we're talking about what comic companies making Geiger and stuff like that. Ghost Machine. Like Ghost Machine isn't really reinventing the wheel, but they're putting out good product is the thing. So it looks cool. So, but to reinvent the wheel, to be like, look, you were wrong about Egypt. You were wrong about, when our species took a turn and just somehow memory got wiped clean. She'd be like, oh, I was. Let me investigate. Now you have a sense of the new. That's amazing. Like, I don't know. It's cool. Speaking of new, we got this. Yeah. Who did your trailer, man?
Speaking of outer space. Just kidding.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, good stuff.
Oh,
We like the
sweet.
good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Go
that's good
subscribe to
stuff.
good stuff and Mrs. Good Stuff. She's supposed to be doing
Yes,
content.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely go
Yeah.
hit them up. So, yeah, so
Cool.
we were talking aliens and space and cool stuff. So tell me about it's the space with the Ace. No, tell me about Ace Volume 3, my man. Tell me about
Yeah,
it.
man. So as you can see, Ace Volume 3 is the third story of this ongoing saga of the Ace. I launched it back in 2021, and it told the origin of a young man, David Diaz, who one day discovers the remains of a shooting star, and what he finds in the wreckage gives him the ability to transform into an armored superhero, basically. And in the first issue, he faces off against Akula, this giant alien bounty hunter shark guy, and he's
Ooh.
able to defeat him by the end of the issue. And then we kind of end up on a cliffhanger. And when we pick up in issue 2, we get introduced to this new group called the Godless, this kind of special forces that come to take Ace back to their home planet. Ace agrees to go with them, and then on his way there, he gets attacked by Angelique. She's the red-haired winged female, and she ends up killing several of the Godless, but Ace and Desi, the remaining Godless member, end up taking her down. And then as they go through a wormhole to go to the planet, they end up getting ambushed by this new alien race called the Hyen, these kind of hyena creatures that we introduce in Volume 3. So basically, it's basically going to be like a 4-issue kind of arc to kind of introduce the Ace. So right now we're in part 3, and we end up doing a bit of a team up issue. Ace and Desi are severely outmanned and outgunned, and they have to call on Akula and Angelique, who've both been captured above in the ship, to team up with them to fight off the attack of the Hyen and their leader, Commander Krokuda. So yeah, it's a really kind of fun, action-packed issue. You get to see these kind of 4 characters that aren't exactly friends have to team up to face off this big threat of the Hyen.
Yeah, I like that. I think people also do like a ragtag, like they like a mixture of personalities in a in a group of a comic book, because I know this focuses on the Ace, but like you said, you get a bunch of people come. It's like a team up type of a story with this
Yeah.
volume, but I think people like oh I can like it's key to have good different personalities in a group. You want that. You don't want like I heard a lot of people. The movie Civil War was recently out, and I heard a lot of people say, there's no personality in any of these people. Like you can't
Mhm.
like so it's good to have that trait and
Yeah.
have that different, and it helps balance out the story
Yeah, it
actually.
makes it more fun to write when you got these differing like personalities and different people bring different things to the
Yeah,
battle. So, yeah, it's a lot of
without a
fun.
doubt, and you get to look at things at different perspectives. What's that, Angela?
The team dynamic. I mean, it just
Mhm.
like I mean, obviously, like Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that's why it was really popular and successful. Same with the one oh shoot, Suicide Squad. The
Yeah.
concept
Well,
was inviting, but then but also I guess
well,
the how it's how it's done matters.
Well, you also
Anyway,
get like Fantastic Four and the X Men and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
oh
Like
my god,
Edwin's
X-Men,
heavily
hello,
influenced by the
like
X Men.
talking
Yeah,
about
well,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
such
Like
a
that
great
cover by Dan Dahl is completely like based on like the X-Men kind of group shots where everybody's going onto the attack. You see like Cyclops, Wolverine, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what I based it off. I sent Dan some ideas, and then he just kind of ran with it. And I love the idea, especially when you see it colored. You see kind of like how distinct each character is.
yeah,
And they all work together as like a weird
it
kind of group. Yeah,
it pops, man. It
yeah, it
really
really does.
does. Yeah, I
so
do
my
like
question
how he hit.
black and alien ladies are so hot in your book, Edwin.
Always, always.
What helped you?
They
Yeah,
have to be. They
yeah.
have to be. Like I think it's funny. People like you hear critics or like realists, so to speak, like oh it's an alien. Of course it's got to have boobs. It's a girl. It's like yeah, why not? Who cares? It's a comic book. What do you expect?
Yeah,
like, like you want them to be hot. like we're human beings. We're like, this is an attractive woman. So yeah, you could have them be like look like the ace. Like, well, no, that's a woman. It's like, well, yeah, but that's not. We find certain traits attractive as human beings. Terribly sorry. It's the way it works,
Are there
and
no
the mental majority is what rules. What's that, Angela?
there's no flat butts in this book. I'm asking.
Oh, you gotta have that AAT.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Angela wants to know if there's any flat butts in the bookcase.
No flatness
Thank you.
in this universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is your third volume. You're hammering these out, like, because you also did Bloodbone. You had the other. Did you have another book out?
Raid of the White Leopard. Yeah.
Yeah, Raid of the White Leopard, which I think I missed out on. I'm very bummed about that. But I don't know. You have so many projects out. I try to get them all. But it's fantastic because you have stories in your head. Like you have ideas and you get them out and you put them out. Like this is the third volume of the Ace. You said it's a 4-story arc. Is it a continuing concept though? Is it a continuing IP? Is it like Ace 500?
I want to keep telling Ace stories as long as as possible. Like I said, this is my baby. This is the thing that I enjoy doing the most. And it's just fun, really fun.
Yeah, dude, I love this series. It's fantastic. And now, since the Ace is kind of like, I mean, it's not this, but it's like a space opera. Could you possibly attach Leopard, Bloodbone, and Ace at some point? Like, could they technically?
No, I'm not. I'm completely have been turned against the multiverse.
Oh, okay.
Like
you expect that.
Yeah.
Well, but wouldn't they be in different like time zones, so to speak? Like White Leopard's obviously in the past. Bloodbone could be like more of a present or semi-present thing. Ace's future.
Interesting.
Is that a possibility? No. I don't know, man.
Each thing is going to be completely on its own. Like I said, I might do a fun crossover covers or something where we kind of tease it, but as far as actual, we're not. I'm not.
I like having it being separate. I was just curious if it could work in some way, but I do like separate. It's like you have your own Marvel. You know what I mean? Like you have your own little IPs. They're their own separate stories. You can enjoy each one and have fun with them. And to me, that's great because that means you have, like I said, you have different concepts and stories in your head that you want to get out that always don't congeal with each other. So you want them to be separated, and you'd be like, I wanted to tell this tale, so here it is. It doesn't need to, intersect with this one in order for it to make sense. It just is what it is. I like
the reason I chose each one is because they are so different and distinct. The idea that we deal with Ace, have aliens, you have space, you kind of have these weird kind of like armor and stuff, and then you got Bloodbone, which is basically completely all street level. There's no super real superheroics. It's just enhanced humans doing like really violent stuff. And then the White Leopard deals with a lot of like kind of like the past, some history. It deals with some like mysticism and different kind of things. So that's going to be a fun story. I hope to continue. So each one is its own separate thing. I want to keep it that one.
What about Easter egg? Would you ever throw maybe an Easter egg of like Bloodbone in a Nexus book or vice versa?
Like I said, I might do some little collab things, but it won't be anything in the books.
Oh, okay.
Nice. You're keeping them separate. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's run down the tiers real quick, and you know the drill. You gotta say them to me because I can't see squat. So what's the first one you got here?
The feature tiered is the bundle, so Ace 1, 2, and 3. All you can grab them all at the same time.
Now is that because I know the tiers kind of like so is that a third printing of one, a second printing of two, and then the first printing of three?
Each Ace cover is exclusive. So this Dan Doll cover is only available during this campaign.
Nice.
When I do a reprint of Ace 3, it'll have something different. Each one is exclusive. So these are going to be logo covers. It'll have a logo of the Ace Volume 1 and a logo of the Ace Volume 2. That's how you know they're second and third printings.
Nice. I like that. Very nice. And then you have what digital tiers here? What is
Yep,
this?
they have PDFs for 1, 2, and 3. You also have tons of like add-ons that you can kind of make your own bundles. I try to make it as easy as possible for anybody who wants to mix and match.
Yeah, I mean, and that's pretty much what I did because I got the first 2 volumes already. So I picked up 3 and also the sketch cover, of course. So yeah, so I was glad, and that's nice to do that. People, as much of a pain as it is in fulfillment to like go into everything, it's still nice to let people
Yeah.
customize pretty much what they want to do. So like I said, I'm like I didn't need the other ones, but I need 3, and I like sketch covers. So yeah, it's nice to mix and match and have people. But it's also nice to have a one-click option. Like, oh, here you
Yeah.
go. You can get
Like I
all of
said,
them in your
especially
feature tier.
having the bundles like right in the feature
Mhm.
chat makes that easy. If
That's the
people
best
miss
move.
that, they just click and get it, and you're all set.
And that's the best move. And I think the feature tier should be like what you have, like a decently affordable tier where you get the best bang for your buck, you get the most material you can possibly get, and you get caught up. So yeah, if you missed out or have an add-on to get caught up. So then you have the book right here, right?
Yep, Ace Volume 3 right there.
And your price point. How many pages is this?
They're all pages, all the Ace.
How many you cut out?
32.
32. Nice. Price point's great for 32 pager. What's K-pop saying?
Oh, she says she's tempted to get the bundle or some blanks.
Get them both, K-pop.
Yeah,
I will say that if you do decide to get it during the stream, you will get a special bonus item that's only going to be available during live streams. I'm having the piece worked on, so it's not ready to show off yet. But trust me, it's
Who's
super
doing this?
exclusive. I'm keeping everything hush until the reveal.
Nice try, Angela.
No secrets, nothing. Keep
I
it
almost
locked.
saw his. He went, like he's gonna say it.
No,
It's Shelby. We all know it's Shelby. No, I'm just kidding.
Shelby's a little too busy for that. But
Shelby's very busy. Very busy, man.
Madman.
He was drawing some sketch cards earlier today. So yeah,
Yeah, he is.
on foil cards. Yeah. Everybody go subscribe to Shelby, American Discord. And then this is what? It's too bright.
Yeah,
this
that's
is the reprints?
Yep, that's the volume 1 third printing, and then below that's going to be the volume 2 second printing.
Nice. And then this is
That's
the
the
blank,
sketch
right?
cover.
Yeah, nice. I picked one of those up. Are you doing like a lower print run for like the sketch covers? That way,
Yeah, that's only 50 available for those. Yeah.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, that's a good number to have, by the way. Nice. What do we got here?
And there's bundle the PDFs if like international peeps want to jump on, they can just grab a nice bundle. Like I said, I took a couple bucks off for getting the bundle, so it does save you like that. Makes it a little easier.
It's nice to do that. It gives people a little incentive also to like get the bundle, even if they're like, oh, I got Ace 1 and I need 3, I need 2 now. Like they could get the bundle and save some money then, and it's just easier. Then they get them all in one go. Even
So
if
the shark guy is called Akula.
Akula? Is that like Hawaiian?
Oh no, it's a Russian for shark.
Oh my. Okay.
And what's this one here?
I like that name.
Yeah, some Joe Ball sketch cards. He did 3 of them. One is sold out, so 2 are available. One of the Ace and the other of Commander Krakuda. So, those are a steal for some Joe Ball art. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's here. I love sketch cards because they're an affordable way to get original art. Especially like Joe Ball knocks it out, so you're gonna get a quality card with an insane amount of detail on it. At an affordable price. So it's a good way to get. Do they come with a book?
Oh no, it's just a CS card.
Okay. Yeah, it's still affordable.
I guess shark guys are right up there with Minotaur for Minotaur for
K-pop. Okay, K-pop. I don't think he's gonna have shark junk. Okay.
Oh jeez.
No, bad K-pop. What's this one here?
I told her to get a room.
That's the Ace retro figure. A very limited amount of those are available on the campaign. They're based on the old WWF Astros. Yeah, there's like 3.5, 4 inches. 4 points of articulation. Plus, it also has a removable helmet, which is super dope.
Oh, that's cool. Look at you.
Yeah, they're all going to be numbered and everything, so it's going to be pretty sweet.
That's pretty cool. You selling toys.
Yep, and then there's volume 1 and 2 if you want to catch up.
Nice. Well, see, that's good too. Yeah.
Where's
then sold out.
Okay, there was that one piece that you showed during one of the Diaz brothers streams of the shark with like
Yeah,
a little
that's
baby bear.
yeah, that was the
I was distracted.
trading card
So.
for signing up. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you
Yeah, if you
so
signed up
when
to
you
the mailing
sign up,
list.
I'm gonna get it. I
Yep.
love that card. I love that. So
So
by signing
was
up,
there a link
back
in that email that you had to click to get it?
secret perk.
Yeah, but you can also just email me and be like, "Hey, I
Okay,
got it."
I'll have to do that.
Because you know,
I'll,
stuff goes into spam and stuff, you know, so it's like, just hit me
Well,
out.
I'm bad with secret perks. I'm so
Yeah, like I've done that too. Like I've been in a rush to back something, and the next thing you know, I look at my spam. Oh, there's a secret link. You know,
well,
so
Inkspots had
whatever.
mentioned to me last night. I'm like, yeah, I signed up because he talked about it, and I'm like, yeah, I got the secret perk link, or I got the link that it launched, and he's like, I never got a link. I'm like, oh, and then I forgot when I just backed today. I forgot to go look for my link. So yeah, but yeah, I'll DM you whenever you get to be fulfillment time. So
Message
that way you
me.
don't.
We'll be
Yeah,
good.
that
I
way
guess.
you don't get buried with anything. I'll just let you know before shipping. Uh,
nice.
I'll know whenever you start to get the books. You'll announce it, I'm sure. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, very affordable, high quality, great
Yeah.
story. Like
Very.
your
I
your
love
campaigns are always bangers. Your products are
Yeah.
great. Like I said, indie comics is where it's at because you get quality. Like you get people passionate about comics and they love doing this because let's face it, we're not doing this as a living. We're doing this to try to be a living. We have other jobs, full-time jobs that take away
Full
from it, and
time.
this is full-time. So
Dream.
to put up quality products on the regular, it's commendable and it's amazing. And you back this, you're getting something good. You know what I
And
mean?
also
So
5 fulfilled campaigns, people.
yeah,
So
exactly. And Edwin fulfills and on time. So it's you could get it. You could back it knowing full well you're gonna get it. So and if there's ever a problem, just you could always like you can email
yeah,
you
you
or
can
DM
always
you.
email me or DM me, and we'll
Yeah,
take care of it.
yeah.
Was the
Your customer service.
The Blood Moon campaign was that like 6 months? I don't think it was a really quick turnaround with that book. I
It
mean,
was a
granted,
quick
it was an
turnaround.
Ashcan. Yeah, that was awesome.
It was still
Yeah.
very quick.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you also work with people who take it seriously in that, like, you have deadlines, you need to make, like, you know what I mean? Now, I've been over this a billion times. Real life does happen, and extenuating circumstances there are a reality. Like, there are reasons sometimes why a book might be late, but,
Cool.
and you accept it. But like you said, the people you work with, they give it to you on time. You get your book out on time, and if there's ever a delay, you're very transparent. So that's commendable. Like I said, another commendable thing, and another great thing about backing somebody that you know one fulfills, but also will be like full on honest with you. It's rare these days. Yeah, back it. Links in the description below. Top of the chat. Click it. Back it. Love it.
Yeah.
You're doing the campaign trail, so you're on plenty of other shows, as well as the Hardline on Monday nights still.
Yep, every Monday 10 p.m. the longest running Monday night CG stream.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
hang out with us tomorrow. The shenanigans will be nonstop.
That's right. That's right.
Day of the week is a big ordeal. So
yes, the ultimate psyop called Days of the Week.
The ultimate
it's a night. Goodness.
So before we go, Angela, do you have any last questions or any last questions in the chat?
No, but I learned so much. Thank you so much, Edwin, for coming on.
And I have a last question, Edwin. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I would love, super speed. I think it would solve tons of my problems on a day-to-day basis.
This is true.
Super speed would be it.
It's almost like duplicating yourself. You know what I mean? You're moving so fast.
If I can be Flash for a day, I would get so much done. It's not even crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I always have fun when you come on. You're a friend, and you're a great person. So thank you again. Angela, thank you for co-hosting, highlighting the chat, making sense of this debauchery.
Yeah, this is a fun show.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
Subscribe.
Yep. For all the mod shopping links, hail to you. Cheers.
Later, everybody. I hit the button. I did. I swear.